Good morning. This is for Spt107, and the trade I was chosen to discuss today is about encouraging the heart. Um, my 30 years I spent in the Air Force, I'd say about 25 of it was in some type of supervisory management role. And through many management courses and leadership courses I was sent to, encouraging the heart was probably the biggest trait that we focused on. I enjoy reading about it, understanding it, and one of my favorite books is Encouraging the Heart by James Kusser and Barry Posner. I never say that right. But, in this book, they seek to explore one of the indescribable leadership skills of all the caring. Caring is said to be an essential skill to be a successful leader, yet one of the most difficult to master. Purpose to care leadership is composed of 7 essential items: setting clear standards, expecting the best, pay attention, personalize recognition, tell the story, celebrate together, and setting the example. The book seems to describe how and why caring leadership works and goes beyond the outlined practices and principles associated with this type of leadership. The book is very inspirational and uplifting, and a blend of theory and principle, true life stories of caring leadership, and self-reflecting questions. Great leaders work purposely to communicate what is important, as a clear, common understanding set of standards is critical to encouraging the heart. Standards must have a focus of excellence and inspiration. In the book, they state people want to do a good job and be successful, and it is an essential part of the leader's role to communicate what success looks like. Standards are comprised of 3 aspects, all of which leaders must address. Leaders must seek to address values. Leaders have to stand for something and have courage in their principles. Leaders must convey their values to all members and seek correspondence between personal and organizational values. If leaders want to inspire real commitment from others in their organization, they must make a concentrated effort to help others understand their own personal values and examine the fit between these and the organizational values. The second aspect of setting clear standards is goal setting. Leaders convey clear standards by setting and sharing goals. Goals provide a purpose for their actions, focus members' energy, and aid in blocking out distraction. While goal setting works best with individuals make their own goals, which are set in placement with the organizational values, it is still effective when the organization sets the goals for its members. One of the quotes that fits this goal is, "The lesson of leaders is to be sure people know why doing something is important and what the end serves." Goals may be simply described as something meaningful to do. The third aspect is setting clear standards in providing feedback. Feedback helps us engage and let us know how we are doing along the way. Goals without feedback have proven to have little effect on motivation. Positive, personalized information is the most effective kind of feedback. Besides providing a relative comparison of success, this type of feedback helps to strengthen trust between the leader and the residents and speaks to deeply held values and beliefs. Research has shown that people are initially nervous and anxious when others encourage them to perform at their personal best, but urged on by their leaders' expectations and encouragement. One way by which leaders show that they care is paying attention to people. What are they doing and how are they feeling? Successful leaders take time on a regular basis to walk around paying attention to people, actively searching for positive examples. Leaders need to ditch the shiny badge, which leaders are constantly on the lookout for problems. The 3 things occur. First, leaders create a misleading view of reality. Second, productivity declines over time. And third, the leader's credibility is reduced to nothing. Put yourself in a worker's shoes to drive this point home. How would you feel and act if you knew someone was coming around to check up on you all the time and looking to highlight your mistakes? Pay attention to the positive and the numerous benefits. It increases morale, creating an atmosphere in which people can relax. It helps people build self-esteem and their own expectations about job performance and also creates productivity and performance. Confront a number of the old traditional management myths that state that leaders must shift their focus from self and put others first. Leaders need to listen with their hearts as well as their hands. Learning to understand and see the things from others' perspective is absolutely critical to building trust relations and their career success. Leaders need to work in a close proximity to those they are leading. When they take time to hang out and open up doors, they foster the conditions in which honest and trustworthy relationships will develop. Once leaders have set those clear standards and anticipate the best and pay attention to the positive examples, they need to make a point of recognizing these efforts and their achievements. But not to say any kind of recognition will do. Cold and personal recognition can actually hurt people more than they can help. Recognition must be personalized to meet the perceptions and the interests of the individual. Leaders find out about the preferences that people have by paying attention to others and taking the time to find out about them. What it comes down to is really thoughtfulness. How much effort you put into thinking about other people and what makes recognition special for that person. Leaders also use resources such as families, friends, and other coworkers to find answers to unknowns about persons' preferences. Leaders also need to be culturally sensitive to the appropriateness and symbolism of active recognition to the co-workers who may come from different ethnic backgrounds, and recognition does not have to be a big and formal thing. In fact, some individuals prefer low types of recognition. Successful leaders will create opportunities to tell and to spread the stories of their organizational success. Storytelling is one of the most basic forms of communication, and is more prevalent and powerful than facts and figures alone. Storytelling is a traditional method of passing along important lessons from generation to generation and cultural to cultural. Stories about human face on success create role models about behaviors and context and make standards come alive. Stories work exceptionally well for teaching and motivating people because it allows individuals to locate themselves with their stories. Storytelling should convey a message of the fact that organizations is making a progress and the actions people are taking to get there. Gardner also states that the artful creation and articular of stories constitutes fundamental part of leaders' vocation. Good stories have specific common components. A good story should include the following elements: identify of the person, state the predicament, clarify the actor's intentions, describing the actions including the props, tell how it ended, reacting the scene, include a surprise. While storytelling is the best experience live in person, the author's advice is always current leaders should make use of technology tools at their disposal to aid and tell the story. Celebrating together at large events where recognition and appreciation are expressed. A culture of celebration is essential to organizational success. It is symbolic glue that holds the community together. Promoting culture of celebration fuels a sense of unity and mission that is essential for retaining and motivating today's employees. Cultivating a culture of celebration has social benefits that transforms into performance benefits. Evidence suggests that leaders who make effective use of social support activities foster high levels of personal health and well-being, in addition to the overall increased work performance. Celebrating also builds a community and a sense of team building, meaning a purpose, and having a person, It helps reinforce the alignment of personal and organizational goals, and last but not least, setting an example in the seventh essential for encouraging the heart. Great leaders model what they expect from others. Whenever you find a strong culture built around the strong values, you find endless examples of leaders who personally live their values. Leadership is based on credibility. Leaders set the example by acting in a means of consistent with a collective set of aims of their organization. Leaders who want to encourage the heart must model the behavior described within the first six essentials. Setting the example for encouraging the heart begins with giving oneself permission to do so. Encouraging Heart is a self-professed book about the soft side of leadership, and this is why I enjoy this book so much. It's very in-depth. You learn a lot, and it's very inspirational. And the book seems to be aimed more at inspiring and uplifting readers by presenting success stories found in the practice and the well-established leaders' principles than offering new ideas. For example, the importance of setting goals and providing feedback on those goals is not a new idea. There's a little critical discussion on how well these principles work in either diverse situations and how to respond workers who do respond favorably to the application of caring leadership. Once again, this is a very good book, and I've read it several times, among other books I have read on encouraging the heart. But as I stated earlier, as I end my presentation, that this is probably the most important trait, because at the end of the day, if your people don't have credibility in you as a leader, they're never going to understand or go to the length to get those organizational values that you need to achieve as a leader and as an organization. That's my presentation. Thank you, and have a great day.